Welcome to this edition of the Eagles Sports Coaches Show. We are here in Johnson Arena today, moving from our usual place in the Lynn Miller room. Had to have some more room because it's a very busy week in Eagles sports. You have the OVC volleyball tournament starting Thursday at Weatherby Gym. You also have men's basketball on Thursday. You have football on Saturday afternoon. You have women's WNIT on Saturday afternoon, and then Friday and Saturday you also have the OVC volleyball tournament continuing, and it's going to be a very, very busy week. We're going to start the show off with Jaime Gordon, volleyball coach here at Morehead State University. Once again, congratulations, OVC regular season champions. Finished that last Saturday with a 3-set win over Austin Peay on the road.
Yeah, well, thanks, Jason. We're excited. I'm really proud of our team and the players. They've really worked hard, not just during the season, but really starting from last January. Coming off of what had been our most successful season in history last year, you get a little concerned sometimes of the motivation. They kind of rest a little bit, and I have to say they really hit January and hit the weight room and hit the individual sessions really hard, and looking at it as, hey, we want to keep improving. And they showed a lot of consistency, a lot of fight this year, and I'm really proud of the job that they've done so far.
You know, with the winning streak that you have, which is now 22 games, tied for the longest with Stanford, it comes a little more pressure, but these young ladies seem like they might enjoy the pressure a little bit. They take it in stride, as you said, one match at a time.
They do. I mean, when we think of some of our bigger matches throughout the season, early on, playing at Louisville at the Yum Center, we had one of our better performances. Hosting Missouri, our team got up and we were able to get that win. The matchup that we had when both ourselves and Southeast Missouri were undefeated, again, really big matches, a lot riding on it. Our team has had a tendency to really step up their performance in those situations. So I'm hopeful that they'll be able to continue that this weekend, because obviously there's a lot riding on the results.
The fact your young ladies took the OVC championship last year, got to the NCAA, and come back and work harder because they want to repeat as OVC champions, tells a little bit about your kids.
Well, they got tremendous character, and they really strive for excellence, not just in volleyball, but in the classroom, in the community. They spend a lot of time in outreach, and they understand that it's one thing to achieve success. It's a lot harder to maintain that, and you've got people that are kind of striving for you. When somebody does well, it kind of brings everybody else in the conference, hey, we've got to kind of step things up. So, they understand that there's always going to be somebody chasing them. Just because you made it to the top there doesn't mean that, you've really accomplished. You got to prove yourself every day.
I know that a lot of people look at the fact that when you're number one, you have a bigger target on your back, and you become everyone's big match of the season.
Yeah, I think we all do that. It doesn't matter whether you've had some success in the past or not. You always have those matches that you look at on the schedule. You kind of circle it and say, hey, this is going to be a big one, whether it be with your marketing group and say, hey, we really want to get a whole lot of fans in for this, or it's one that that your players are anticipating. I think that we've been that match for a lot of teams this year in our conference, and I think it makes it fun. It's exciting to have everybody's good crowds and best attack, and I think we've been a little bit lucky at times to get out of a couple matches with a win, but I'll take luck sometimes.
Talk about Weatherby, the fact that you finished this year 8-0 there,
Mm-hmm.
averaging maybe a little over 600, maybe between 600 and 700 per game. That just speaks of this volleyball a community that you have built here at Morehead State University.
It is. It's an advantage. We're excited to be playing this tournament here at home in front of our fans. They're not just there in body, but they're there in spirit. Last Wednesday we had a great crowd against EKU. A lot of students out. A lot of our teams. Our baseball team was amazing out there, and so it is an advantage to have. And I think that a lot of that, again, kind of falls back to our players. They are the type of people that I think our fans want to come out and watch and support, and our players are also very appreciative of that. After every match, they go out into the stands and thank everybody for coming out.
Of course, a lot of administration come to your games. Even the dean of students is there all the time, maybe in a toga sometimes, maybe ripping his pants cheering sometimes. But Kevin Kidd is one of the ringleaders of the administration here at Morehead State that can be very loud.
Yes, there's no missing him in the gym. He's been a lot of fun, and actually, we had a fun story that happened after we were playing Missouri, and it was a really close match. Went all 5. That next morning, I got a text from Dean Kett saying, "Hey, I just want you to know." I cheered so loud that I blew the crotch out of my pants, and and it's that type of support and that type of environment that our players are so appreciative of, and I think that's one of the things that makes Morehead, that makes our university so unique, is that it's just so many quality people, from the administration to faculty to students to other coaches, and it's just a great place with a lot of great people. We're fortunate to be a part of it.
Jaime Gordon is our guest. We're talking volleyball. The OVC championships will be held at Weatherby Gym starting on Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday. Jaime, you take on UT Martin in the first round. You played them here October 20th, but as we both know, anything can change, and a lot of things can change between October 20th and now.
Yeah, and one of the things that's that Tennessee Martin is really good at. They've got one of the best defensive players, not just in our conference, but in the country, in Casey Ellswick. So she anchors a really strong back row defense. They've got a great freshman, Chelsea Bowles, that also does a nice job back there. And they've got a very young team. They're relying on, they have a freshman setter, freshman middle, Shelby Hoskins, that's really coming along. And we talked about that team specifically at the beginning of the year as a coaching staff. We said, these guys may have a little bit of growing pains early on, but as soon as those young players get that experience, you're going to really see them step it up and do some nice things. And that's what you're seeing from that team this time of the season.
Well, Morehead State and UT Martin will conclude the first round. My bracket's upside down, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But the tournament will get underway at 11 o'clock on Thursday. Belmont taking on Eastern Illinois. Belmont, the new team in the league, but finishing third's not bad in their first first year in the OVC.
Yeah, they've done a nice job. They have a very balanced team, and I'll tell you what, that's going to be a pretty interesting and exciting matchup to watch. You have Eastern Illinois that's pretty young as well, and they're really I think one of the stronger teams coming into this tournament, and they've their coach has done a great job of really turning that program around and getting them into the tournament, and that would be one that as you kind of look at those possible upsets, I think that Eastern Illinois could be one that could really cause some trouble for Belmont.
And the 1:30 game, it's Southeast Missouri taking on Jacksonville State. Southeast Missouri, the number 2 seed, winning the West. And then Jacksonville State, number 7 seed, and Jacksonville State pushed your young ladies awful well during the season.
Yeah, I'll tell you, there's no team in the conference that we have more respect for than Jacksonville State. And to be honest, even though we were very fortunate to get 2 wins, we probably should have lost both of those matches. Being down 0-2 at their place and having to fight back, and then they tried to return the favor. Took us to 5. We're actually up 12-9 in the 5th. That's usually a deficit that's hard to come back from. So we were real lucky to get 2 matches or 2 wins there, and we're actually kind of happy that they're at least on the other half of the bracket for now.
Austin Peay and Tennessee State at 4:30. Austin Peay, you just went and played that team, and of course Tennessee State seems like they're always athletic, and what was it, a couple years ago they won the league.
Yeah, they're that's one thing I think that's really fun about this whole field is all 8 teams can put together 3 good matches and win this. It's not. I don't think that this is. Sometimes you'll look at a tournament field and you say, okay, you maybe have 2-3 teams that can compete for it. I really believe from top to bottom anybody can. And Austin Peay's got a great team. We just finished playing them on Saturday, and they were the first team that actually defended us, that outdug us throughout the season. So they're really strong. And then again, that Tennessee State, they can put some great volleyball out on the court. So that'll be a very fun match to watch.
Ticket prices are $5 per day.
Mm-hmm.
Students will be admitted free with a valid ID from any league institution. And of course, you come out Thursday, you pay $5, you can get 4 great matches for $5. That's just a little over $1 a match.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, anybody that comes out, these are going to be exciting matches. If there's one thing that's, I think, been pretty consistent about the OVC volleyball is that you don't know what's going to happen. It's always a battle, and even up into the very last match of the regular season. You had Eastern Kentucky taking on Murray State, EKU. If they win that match, they go on into the tournament, and they lose a real close one in 5 at Murray State. And so all 4 of these matches are going to be exciting, and that's $5 well spent.
If you're listening on the Eagle Sports Network or even watching at home via the MSUEagles.com, the fact that parking will be available. You can park at the old courthouse, around County Courthouse, so just down from Weatherby. Also, parking will be available at the Space Science Center. A lot in front of the Space Science Center. They'll have plenty of spaces there. So Thursday, there'll be some probably parking, moving in and out depending on the games, but you need to get there early because the last game is the important game for Morehead State fans, 7 o'clock. So, and of course, with all other things going on in Morehead this week, come out a little early and enjoy some good OVC volleyball.
Yeah, and absolutely. We'd love people to come early, watch those first matches, but definitely we're going to need all the help we can get. That's one of the big advantages of winning the regular season is you have that opportunity to host, but it's only an advantage if our fans are out there, if we've got that support, and we're going to need you on Thursday night. Don't plan anything ahead. We're going to have our hands really full at 7 o'clock on Thursday.
4:30 and 7 on Friday are the semifinal matches, and then the championship game at 6. Between now and Thursday, what's the plans for the Eagle volleyball team?
Get better. I think that's been our approach all season long. Every day, every practice is an opportunity to get better. We had a really good practice yesterday. Traditionally, our Mondays have been a little bit lighter when you're playing on a Friday, but because of the tournament, because even of the way the practice times and slots are scheduled on Wednesday, we really needed to take full advantage of yesterday's time, and team was ready to go. We're going to need to kind of go hard again today, and as I said, look at them as opportunities to get better because we've got to play our best at the right time of the year.
I guess nicks and bangs really don't matter this time. These young ladies want to get out there.
Yeah, I think they're real focused. Obviously, we want to stay healthy. We're still dealing with some injuries that we've been working with all season long. But I think this is the buildup. This is what you've been working on so hard. So I think sometimes that pain level has a tendency to go down as the adrenaline goes up.
Percentage-wise, how important is it to play your tournament in Weatherby?
Oh, I think it's huge. If you look just as the way that we've performed, with the exception of Jacksonville State, which went 5, and we've won all of our conference matches at home in straight sets. Austin P was the first road match that we won in straight sets. And really, even that Jacksonville State, we were 1 point away from being able to walk out of the gym with a 3-set win there. So we've definitely performed better at home. But again, that's not something that we can rely on or use it as something to relax back on. More so something that kind of builds our confidence.
Once again, the volleyball tournament starts Thursday at 11 a.m. at Weatherby Gym, Belmont in Eastern Illinois. Then at 1:30, Southeast Missouri taking on Jacksonville State, Austin P and Tennessee State at 4:30, and then the Eagles, the number 1 seed in the tournament, taking on UT Martin at 7 o'clock. And of course, the semifinals set for Friday, championship game Saturday. Hopefully, the Eagles can play the last match Friday and the 6 o'clock match Saturday, and just make it an Eagle day with football, women's basketball, and volleyball. Make it a big day for Eagle sports fans.
Yeah, it's a great weekend with everything that's going on here with football and men's and women's basketball and volleyball. So it's a great opportunity to get out and get to see some tremendous athletic events.
Hey, congratulations. We'll talk to you next week.
Oh,
Hopefully
yeah,
with a big trophy here.
well, that and I'll look forward to sharing some good news. Obviously, we've got our signing day coming up tomorrow, and we're excited about what's coming down the road. And we've got all conference awards that we're hopeful to be able to celebrate some individuals on their performances. So, looking forward to what we can talk about next week too.
Jaime Gordon, volleyball coach here at Morehead State. We'll come back with more from Johnson Arena. This is the Eagle Sports Coaches Show.